Okay. All right. All right. Wow, I'm live. Looks like my internet connection is not so good. Whew. Hold on a second. I have to close some windows here. Um, all right. Close this one. Okay. Yep. So my internet connection is not so good today. It's a rainy day. Um, Interesting. There's some interference. Hold on. Let me turn off this thing too. Dun, 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 dun. Hello everyone. My name is Jason. I'm a Course in Miracles student and a channeler, and I hope that you can hear me. But with the rain and with the interference, I'm not sure how well you will be able to hear me. Um, I've noticed that with this interference, it kind of cuts out sometimes. It cuts out words. It's very interesting how that happens. Um, yeah, interesting. Hold on. Okay. So, all right, and let me turn off this Wi-Fi too. Um, so, yeah, my name is Jason. I'm a Course in Miracles student and a channeler, and I'm here today because I want to talk about something, and I find it very interesting that the technology is reacting the way it is. Um, but what I wanted to talk about is, first of all, welcome to the Daily Dose of Hope, and this is Daily Dose of Hope Day 16. And what I've been called on to do by my guides is to come on to give a daily dose of hope because the energies, as you may have picked up on, are starting to pick up and things are getting a little wild out there. And so I've just come on just for a little bit of peace. And so today, though, my focus for today is the movie The Matrix. Um, I'm not sure if all of you have seen The Matrix. So, hey, Kathy, Mr. J Hope. That's me, Mr. J Hope. Um, so I want to talk about The Matrix today. And so that was a movie that came out a few years ago. And in the movie, if you remember, or if you saw the movie, a artificial intelligence takes over the planet, and we don't realize that it is taken over. And the artificial intelligence creates a what we now know of as a metaverse, and we live in that metaverse thinking that it is reality. And but actually, we are in these pods, and in the pods, our energy is being used as a battery to power the artificial intelligence, whatever it is, the artificial intelligence. And they have this whole underground um, system. Anyway, I'm not really good at describing this, uh, but that's the idea. The humans were used as a source of energy, and at the time, I thought that was a analogy. For example, like the idea that everything is an illusion. This Course in Miracles idea, everything's an illusion, and we think we're in this illusion, but we're actually plugged into this um, system. And but recently, what I'm thinking is that maybe they were actually literal. There, it was a literal idea that they were showing. Projective, what is it? Predictive programming. Um, Show what you're going to do before you do it, kind of thing. And so I was jumping down a rabbit hole, which I have to be careful about because it's really important when you jump down a rabbit hole that you keep your peace with you when you jump down the rabbit hole. And that sometimes can be very difficult. And that's why the Course in Miracles always comes in handy. So, for example, today I have lesson number 34 that says, I could see peace instead of this. Um, so so in this situation, there's always two ways of seeing everything. We're living on a yin and yang world where we are in balance. There's a balance of the yin and the yang. And so to always understand that in every situation, every place you jump down, there's always the yin and yang. And you've always got your surfboard or your skateboard or whatever kind of board you want to ride on, your magic carpet. And you're just balancing there, and you're just seeing things. You're seeing all of these different things, all these different ideas, these narratives, these stories. And sometimes the stories can have a little bit of fear in them. They kind of they're it's very interesting. What's the word? They have just a little bit of fear. It's not poison, But in a sense, it is because it looks like, oh, what's this? This looks interesting. And eat it, and like, oh my god, what did I just eat? It's like fast food. You know, why did I do that? That's horrible. So that sort of idea. It looks really like interesting on the outside, but once you take it in inside, you think, oh my god, that's. Oof, ooh, I need to get that out of my system. Um, and the way to get it out of your system is to understand that it's just a story, and that in every story there is always the yin and the yang, and there's always balance, and there's always a reason for all of these stories. So this matrix idea, what if this idea is part of our advanced training, our Jedi training on this planet, in order for us to overcome that, in order for us to understand, to hold both the light and the dark, to understand what is actually going on, but not to be in a state of judgment, to not be in a state of anger, to not be in a state of fear, but just to see it and understand it and shine our light into it. Maybe that's our thing. Maybe that's what we're supposed to do. And so there are some that say not to go down rabbit holes, and I think it depends on your personality. It depends on where you are spiritually. I think if you are in a state where you're not, for example, if you're really, really unhappy with everything that's going on in your life, or you're not completely um, in a good place, I don't recommend going down. And yeah, you know, life itself is enough of a rabbit hole. Um, but if you are able to find a place of peace, you can take your magic carpet, or your magic surfboard, or your magic skateboard, and you can go down these rabbit holes. But instead of falling off into the hole, you can just kind of balance and just see what's going on and say, "Ah, okay, look at that story. Look at that story. Ooh, I just ate that. Oof. Oh, I have to, take some vitamin C or whatever to get that out." But just be a witness and see what's going on, but understand that you are not a part of it. You're not a part of this world. And these are just stories that you're surfing. So, and it could be a big wave of fear, and you just kind of surf it. Ooh, okay, I got over that one. I didn't imbibe the fear, or if I did, I just took it in and I kind of made it into something interesting. I made some artwork out of it or something. And I think that's what the idea is all about on this planet. There's the story. Yeah, keep our peace. Yes, Kathy, I think that's the idea. Just stay on the board and just kind of surf it and just kind of understand, whoa, that's pretty wild, that's pretty crazy. But I'm not going in fear, and I'm just staying in this neutral place of just shining my light. I'm just a lighthouse. I'm just a lighthouse here, shining light into the shadows. And the shadows, once you shine the light into the shadows, they disappear, and then after time, you start to see what was really there. Sometimes these things take time. I notice in the news cycle, sometimes something will just appear out of nowhere and create a lot of fear. But within a few weeks, they've kind of taken it in, and they've made some funky artwork out of it. I think that's what we got to do, is take all this crazy fear and just say, that's interesting. I'm going to make a butterfly out of that fear, for example. Um, so I think that was what I was talking about. Yeah. Um, yes. And it's really funny that the internet is acting up now. So the Matrix is reacting to this conversation. Um, well, as I guess, as it is, as it should. It is a part of our advanced training. And so I think that's what I kind of saw and what I understood. And I think this probably will start to come out more in all over the social media. And I think when you do see it, when you do understand it, understand that you are an amazing being of light, and that you are not this body, and you're not really here anyway. So just enjoy the experience, surf it, understand what's going on. Don't go into fear, because that is when you lose. You fall off the board. Don't go into fear. Sometimes you take it in, right? You get a little bit of fear. Just take it in and make an origami, butterfly out of it, and let it fly away, kind of thing. Um, I could see peace instead of this. There's always another way of looking at everything. And even when you're deep down in a rabbit hole and it seems like there's no hope, there's always hope, because you are the hope. You're bringing the hope to that situation. So that's my spiel. I feel like I'm telling myself this. Um, so yeah. because we all need to be reminded of that. And but that's where that's what I wanted to say before I go into the channeling. Sorry, I'm a bit scatterbrained. Before we go into the channeling, that there was the Lemurian civilization, the Atlantis civilization, and on those civilizations, as well as other civilizations, what happened was there was the yin and the yang. Well, this I think happened on a lot of other space civilizations as well. There's the yin and the yang, and people went too far one way and too far the other way. So too much love and light or too much darkness, and with both of those places, you become blind to what's really going on. And, it can't sustain. The yin and yang will not be able to sustain and just so the civilization was, destroyed. Just it couldn't sustain itself. And I think what we're doing here is we're trying really hard to see what's really going on. There's been a lot of stuff that was hidden from us, and there was the same in Atlantis, same in Lemuria. There was a lot of stuff that was hidden. There were people doing things that weren't so good, and people didn't know about it. And when people knew about it, learned about it, it was too shocking. It's too much. It was too much of the yin and yang symbol just couldn't sustain. And the yin and yang is a very, very powerful symbol. What I've heard recently from a woman who studies the Tao, so she lived in China for, was it 10 years or so, and she was explaining the Tao to me a bit. And so when we see the yin and yang as a circle, it's not actually a circle, it's a sphere. And the yin and yang are continually moving against each other. They're continually kind of balancing out, and that energy is very, very powerful. So if there's too much of one energy, it just can cause, I guess, an explosion of sorts. And that's what happened. And what we're doing here is we're saying we're not going to let that happen this time. We're going to see all this stuff, and we're going to bring our light into that world. We're going to bring our surfboards down into those deep dark rabbit holes, and we're going to shine our light out into those rabbit holes. And we're not going to be in judgment, and we're not going to be in anger, and we're not going to be in fear, but we're going to be in power. And so that's my spiel for today. Getting all emotional. So now, I'd like to get into a channeling, and yeah. So here we go. Hey, it's nice to have you guys here. It's nice to have an audience, a live audience. All right, so here we go. I'm what I'd like to do is maybe some ask for some. Yeah, it's nice to have you here. Yeah, thanks. What I'd like to do though is ask for some clarification about all of this, and ask for some um, power for all of us to keep our power of holding this, being just a witness and being a lighthouse and just shining our light and not falling off of our skateboard, or helping us to get back on our skateboard. There we go. All right, so here we go. Greetings. We are that one that you know of as Mary Magdalene, and we're here, and we're here, and we're here in this wonderful time for all of you. This amazing time when the energies are starting to pick up and starting to shift and change. And this is what you have waited for. This is what you have come for. A lot of you have come for this time. You have been sort of in a waiting period, in a sort of limbo for most of your life, picking up information, but always finding yourself outside of all of the different groups, outside of the different societies, never quite fitting in, always the black sheep in every situation, always the black sheep, never quite finding out where you fit in. And there's a reason for that, because you weren't supposed to fit in there. You weren't supposed to understand all of that. You were supposed to be outside of it. You were supposed to be a witness. And now is your time. Now the time has come for all of you to start your work. This is where you will start to fit in, because this is where you will find your true reason for being here. This is when you will start to be the lighthouse that you came to be. This is when you can finally shine your light and your light will be understood. Up until this point, your light was misunderstood. Many people would see it, but that did not fit within their narrow confines of the world that they lived in. And this is not a good thing or a bad thing. It is just a thing. It is what it was. There were narrow confines of what people were living within, the narrow confines of the society, the work, the 9 to 5 jobs, the everyday, the mortgages, the bank accounts, the savings accounts, all of these different things. And this light was outside of all of that. This light has nothing to do with this world that I'm in. In this world that I'm in, I must work very, very hard. I must try not to think too deeply about anything because it will take me away from the work and all of these different things. But the light didn't make any sense. Well, the light is just the light, and it doesn't make any sense. It has no meaning. It has no meaning, and since it has no meaning, it should be pushed away. Get that light out of my face. Get it out of my way. I don't want to see that light. Why? Why is that light there? It's just in the way. And every time I see it, it takes me away. It takes me into my dream world, into the dream things, into the things I always wanted to do. Ah, it's not, it's a distraction. It's a distraction. Is the way that the matrix has taught you to think about the light. And it is a masterful system because you are masterful beings and you are ready now to take your step outside of that. Now you, the light wearers, the light showers, the light workers, the lighthouses are now in place. You are in place all over the world, in places that no one would ever imagine. And you are there, ready and waiting for the time, and the time is now. The time has come. The time has come for all of you to shine your light because you are here and you are what we might call the saviors of this time because you are the ones that always held that light outside of this matrix. No matter what happened, you always had that light. And no matter how much you felt like you were the black sheep, you always held that power and that energy. And that is your true power. That is your true light working power because that is what you came here to do. You just didn't understand the timing. And now the timing has come. And we will tell you that if you understood the timing, you might have taken different steps and you might have fallen off of the path. And this is why the timing was kept from you in that sense. And now is the time, and now is the time, and now is the time for you to start shining your light, because all of the information is available to you now. It's all there, all in your social media screens, on your news, on your radio, wherever you want to do, even if you just want to pick it up with your radio frequency brain, you can pick up those waves all throughout the morphogenetic field. And what we would say to you is that it's time. It's time for you to be a witness, and to be a lighthouse, to shine your light into all of these shadows and to see the fear, but not feel it. You could take in that fear as this being did. You can take it in and then you can let it go because that is what emotions are, and that is what fear and all of these emotions are. You just let them go. They're just waves. They come and they go. They come and they go. And you are constant. You are the light. You are the lighthouse. The waves, they come and they go, but the lighthouse stays there. The lighthouse just gives off the light. The light doesn't judge. It doesn't try to change. It just sees and shines the light. And the light is enough. The light is enough to encourage the change on your planet. So this is a very, very wonderful time for all of you. We are Mary Magdalene, and you are very, very much loved and very, very much uh, protected and sustained. This is one thing that we'd like you to understand before we go as well. All of you that have felt like the black sheeps on the outside, on the outskirts of this matrix society, never quite understanding why everything works the way it does and what is going on, always feeling you're the last one to be picked. You're the one that doesn't make any sense to anyone else, that you're misunderstood in so many different situations. Understand that you were so loved and protected by your guides. And that is what helped you to get through all of this as well. Plus your amazing survival skills, your amazing survival skills. But in addition to that, it was the help. You are so loved and so protected in a cocoon of loving and wonderful energy. And this is what we would like to say to you, that even now you are so loved and protected. We are that one that you know of as Mary Magdalene. Mm. Okay. Phew. All right. Very emotional. Ooh. And look at that. My screen's all going nuts. All matrixy. um, Last thing I want to say. Now, as a channeler, I'm not even sure if let me ask: can you guys hear me, or because there's a lot of interference here? Okay, maybe not. Okay, but I'll just go on anyway. Oh, you can still hear. Okay, good. Good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry about that. Just wanted to check. Um, so the last thing I wanted to say is that as a channeler, I understand that it's very difficult to give predictions on dates and things like that. You know, this is going to happen next year or this month, because it's all about possibilities. We can't really say on this date this will happen. But that being said, I just want to share something, and again, take it with a grain of salt, because again, nothing can really be predicted, and who knows what the information is for? Maybe this is an information. Yeah, so take it with a grain of salt. But a few nights ago, recently, I've been getting a lot of information in dreams, and um, one of the dreams I had, they were talking about April 8th. And I thought that was strange. There's something important about either April 8th or April 4th. I was kind of attending a lecture in my dream, and April 8th or April 4th, and they gave me a code word, and the code word was fine, Fine, or fine, the I guess, I don't know if it's Italian or the Italian way of reading it, fine. So fine in English, it means fine, everything's fine. Fine means ending. So I don't know what that means, but I do know that there's a big eclipse, a big solar eclipse that might be happening, I think, over America, Midwest, maybe, on April 8th. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. So maybe it's a confirmation, or maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a date. And who knows, maybe it was just planted in my dream. I don't know. But I just wanted to leave that with you guys. Um, Again, thank you guys really very much for joining in. I really appreciate it. I hope I hope the hope is helping, and yeah, and I hope you're able to hear me. Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. With you guys, actually, with me live, um, uh, the energy increases. I feel a lot more energy from this. So thank you so much. You guys are contributing to this hope. You are helping to broadcast this hope throughout the world and the whole universe. So amazing stuff. Thank you. And yeah, Stefan, yes, we shall see. Yep, we'll see. Maybe nothing. Probably nothing. I wouldn't put too much hope on dates. Just put your hope on yourself, on you being the one. You're the hope. Dates are less important than you as the hope. So anyway, guys, getting too emotional here. All right, so Roger, see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining in. I really, really appreciate it. So ciao.